In the year 2493, humans were no longer tied to Earth. They had reached the stars. They had cities on Mars, mining colonies on moons, and exploration ships flying across the galaxy. But with so much power, one thing never changed: greed. On the far edge of human space, there was a forgotten planet called Zera 9. Cold, dry, and full of old wreckage from wars no one remembered. Many called it a junk world. Ships came to collect scrap, then left. No one stayed for long. Liam, a young scavenger, worked for a small salvage crew. He wasn't strong. He wasn't a soldier. But he was clever. Where others saw garbage, Liam saw patterns. He always looked deeper. One morning, while the sun was rising over the dusty hills of Zera 9, Liam's scanner picked up something strange. A deep metal structure, buried under layers of rock. It was huge, much bigger than any wreck he had seen. He called his team leader. "Found something big," Liam said through the radio. "Is it valuable?" the man replied. "Not sure, but it's not like the other junk." They started digging. The more they uncovered, the stranger it looked. It wasn't a ship. It wasn't a weapon. It was a large dome, smooth and dark, with strange glowing lines on its surface. Symbols no one could read were carved all over it. One old mechanic laughed. "It's just junk from the old war. Leave it. Waste of time." But Liam couldn't stop thinking about it. That night, when everyone was sleeping in their base camp, he returned alone. The air was silent. Only the soft wind moved the dust. He climbed down into the pit they had dug. He placed his hand on the smooth surface. It was warm. Suddenly, the lines lit up with blue light. A low hum filled the air. Then a voice. Cold, robotic, ancient. Core awakening. Identification. Human detected. Liam jumped back, his heart racing. Dust rose as the dome began to vibrate. The center of the structure opened like petals of a flower, revealing a deep pit with a glowing core inside. System booting. 93% damage. Repair protocol started. Liam stared, frozen. He whispered, "What are you?" The voice responded, "I am VORAX, last defense system of the human empire." Awaiting command input. Liam's mind spun. The human empire, that was just a myth. No one believed humans once ruled the stars. Now they were just one of many weak species in the galaxy. He reached out again, and the voice spoke once more. Energy levels rising. Foreign life forms detected in orbit. Defense mode unlocked. Suddenly, the ground shook. Lights flashed across the surface of the dome. A map appeared in the air above the core, a hologram. It showed a star system, then zoomed in. It was Earth. Then red lights blinked all around it. Ships, weapons, explosions. It was a recording, a memory. Liam stepped back. This can't be real. He ran back to camp and woke the others. The machine is alive. It's not junk. It's a weapon. A smart one. But no one believed him. They laughed, called him crazy. Later that day, a technician returned to the dome. But the light was gone. The core was silent. It looked dead again. That night, Liam sat outside, watching the stars. The voice came again, soft in his ear, though no one else heard it. "Liam, we are not alone. They are coming." Liam couldn't sleep. Even after returning to camp, the voice from the ancient machine echoed in his mind. They are coming. Who was coming? Aliens? Enemies? Or something worse? The next morning, the team packed up their gear. Their leader had decided to leave Zera 9. "Nothing valuable here," he said. "We wasted 3 days." But Liam didn't move. He stood near the edge of the pit, staring at the dark machine below. It was quiet again, like it had never spoken. But Liam knew it was only hiding. He waited until nightfall. Then once again he returned alone. This time the dome opened as he walked close. The glowing core lit up and floated upward. A soft hum filled the air, like a heartbeat. The voice returned. Liam, welcome back. He stepped forward. Who, or what are you? I am VORAX, Final Defense AI of the Human Galactic Empire. Year of activation, unknown. Estimated time offline, 10,243 years. Liam blinked. 10,000 years? Correct. Human Empire lost control. Final protocol. Hide. Wait. Rebuild. Liam asked, why here? Why Zera 9? VORAX showed him a projection. A galaxy covered in red dots. Enemies everywhere, it said. Zera 9 was safe. Forgotten. I was placed here to sleep. Until a human found me again. Liam asked, and now? Now, I wake. Suddenly, alarms flashed inside the projection. New threat detected. Orbiting ship, Zernak class. Liam's eyes widened. Zernak? Who are they? Old enemy. They destroyed human colonies during the Great Betrayal. If they see me, they will destroy this core. VORAX showed a vision of Zernak warships, black, sharp, and deadly. He said, they believe humans are extinct. If they learn the truth, they will attack Earth again. Liam felt fear rise in his chest. He was just a scavenger, a nobody. But now he was the only person who had spoken to VORAX, the only one who knew the truth. Why me? He whispered. Because you are human. That is enough. Then VORAX's voice grew quiet. Liam, I need energy to repair. I need you to help me awaken the others. Others. A new part of the dome opened, revealing a storage bay deep underground. Inside were machines, tall, silent, and sleeping. Warriors made of metal, ships with folded wings, and a large black cube glowing faintly. VORAX said, this is just one piece of the puzzle. The core network is spread across many worlds. I will guide you. Liam nodded slowly. He didn't fully understand what he was agreeing to, but he knew one thing. This was no longer just a job, it was a mission. Back at the camp, the salvage team prepared to leave. But as they powered up their ship, the lights flickered. Systems failed. Something's wrong, the captain said. Then a warning flashed. Incoming ship. Unknown class. Prepare for contact. It was the Zernak. A dark ship entered Zera 9's orbit. It didn't reply to messages. It just floated, silently watching. From the dome, VORAX whispered to Liam. They are searching for me. We must act quickly. Liam asked, what do I do? There is an old human base, hidden, buried under the ice of planet Elian 3. It holds the keys to the past and the weapons of the future. A new path opened. A tunnel led to an ancient transport, a small ship powered by forgotten technology. The doors opened for Liam. VORAX said, go. I will protect this world. You must find the others. Wake the Empire. Liam stepped inside the ship, heart pounding. Outside, the Zernak ship began scanning the surface. It was only a matter of time before they found the core. Liam took a deep breath. He wasn't ready. But he had no choice. The ship lifted into the sky. Destination, Elian 3. Liam's ship flew silently through the dark space. VORAX had given it a location. Elian 3, a frozen planet covered in ice storms and forgotten secrets. According to the ancient AI, there was a hidden human base buried deep under the surface. And inside it, more than just answers. As Liam sat in the pilot seat, the ship moved on its own. It was running on old human tech, guided by VORAX's signal. Lights blinked softly, and the engines made no sound. Liam whispered to himself, what if this is a trap? But it was too late to turn back. Arrival at Elian 3. The ship entered orbit around Elian 3. The planet looked dead. Nothing but blue ice and white storms. But the ship scanned the surface and found a weak energy signal. The ship began to descend. Strong winds hit the sides, and thick clouds made it hard to see. But slowly, a small crack in the ice appeared. The ship hovered over it, then shot a beam of heat downward. The ice cracked open. Beneath it was a metal structure, old, rusted, but still alive. The ship landed and the doors opened. Liam stepped outside into freezing air. The wind howled, but he walked forward, guided by blinking lights on the ground. He found a control panel half buried in snow. When he touched it, a soft voice spoke. "Welcome, human. Base Commander. Ilara. Status. Cryosleep. Begin awakening?" Liam froze. Cryosleep. Someone was still alive? He pressed yes. Awakening the past. Steam hissed from the ground. A large door opened slowly. Liam entered and found a long hallway filled with glass chambers. Most were dark, but one chamber glowed. Inside was a woman in a black uniform. Her eyes were closed, her body frozen in time. The system warmed up and water began to drain. Her eyes opened. She gasped, then looked at Liam. "Who are you?" she asked. "I'm Liam. I found VORAX on Zera 9. The woman's expression changed. "VORX is awake," she said quietly. Then, "It's starting again. Commander Ilara." Her name was Commander Ilara Voss, and she was once a top officer in the human empire. She had been sleeping for over 10,000 years. Ilara walked through the base, turning on old systems with ease. Lights returned, screens glowed, machines hummed back to life. "This was one of our last strongholds," she explained. "When the Zernak betrayed us, we knew we couldn't win. So we built the core network and went underground." She showed Liam a hologram of ancient battles, planets burning, human fleets falling. "We lost everything, but we left behind pieces of ourselves, waiting to be found." Liam asked, "Why me?" Ilara looked at him. "Because you found the first piece. Now it's your job to bring the rest together." Not alone. Suddenly, alarms rang. Unidentified ship approaching. Zernak class. Ilara's eyes narrowed. "They followed you." Outside, the sky lit up as a black Zernak dropship descended. It landed near the ice crack, and figures stepped out, tall, armored, and armed. "They're here for the base," Ilara said. "They want to destroy what's left of us." She handed Liam a weapon. Time to fight. Battle in the ice. Liam and Ilara took cover inside the hallway. The Zernak began cutting through the entrance door. Sparks flew. The metal screamed. Ilara activated a control panel. Turrets rose from the walls and ceiling. Ancient defense systems powered up. The door exploded. The first wave of Zernak soldiers entered, fast, silent, and deadly. Liam fired. The turret blasted. Ilara moved like a trained warrior, her old skills returning instantly. The hallway became a war zone. One Zernak threw a plasma grenade. Liam dove, landing hard, but alive. Ilara shot the last attacker in the chest. Silence returned. The key. After the battle, Ilara guided Liam to a secure room. Inside was a small black cube floating in a glass case. "This is a command key," she said. "Only 4 exist. With this, you can access other cores and wake them." She handed it to him. "Now we go to the next location. Viorax will guide us." Liam nodded. He wasn't just a scavenger anymore. He was part of something much bigger. Liam held the black cube in his hand. It felt heavy, almost alive. He could feel the power it held, the key to unlocking more of the human legacy buried in the galaxy. But at the same time, it felt like a dangerous secret, one that could change everything. Ilara stood next to him, her face hard and determined. She had spent years sleeping in this cold, forgotten base. Now she was awake again, ready to fight. But something about the cue troubled her. "We need to move quickly," she said, her eyes scanning the dark, empty base. "The Zernak are already on the hunt, and we can't stay here much longer." Liam nodded. He wanted to trust her. She was a commander from a time before the galaxy had fallen apart. But deep down, he couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. There was too much he didn't understand. The base shook slightly. The Zernak hadn't left. They were out there searching. Elara moved swiftly, taking the lead. "We'll go to the ship," she said, pointing to a hangar across the hall. "It's equipped for long-range travel. Viorax has already provided the coordinates for our next destination." But before they could reach the hangar, the lights flickered, then went out. The entire base was plunged into darkness. Liam's pulse quickened. What happened? "Elara?" He turned to look at her, but she was already moving toward the control panel, her hand hovering over it. Then the voice he feared most broke through the silence. "Warning, security breach detected. Systems compromised." The lights flickered back on. A new voice joined the first, cold and mechanical, but this time it was a voice he didn't recognize. "Commander Elara Voss, you are under arrest for treason." Liam's heart dropped. Elara froze. The voice wasn't from the Zernak. It was from a different source. Something inside the base. "What's going on?" Liam asked, his voice shaking. Elara's face twisted into something darker. "It's a trap. They knew we'd come here. They've been watching us from the start." Before Liam could speak, a door on the far side of the hall opened. A group of soldiers walked in. Human soldiers, wearing the same dark armor as Elara, but with a different symbol on their chest. "Liam, listen to me," Elara said quickly. "They've been using us. The core network isn't just for protecting humanity. It's for controlling it." "What do you mean?" Liam asked. The soldiers didn't wait for her to answer. They raised their weapons. "You've been lied to, Liam," Elara continued, her voice trembling. "I wasn't just a soldier. I was part of something far bigger. A project that's been going on for centuries." The soldiers stepped closer. Elara's eyes narrowed. "I had to wake you, Liam. I needed you to find the keys. But now you're too important to them." Liam stepped back, feeling betrayed. You used me?" Elara didn't answer. Instead, she activated a control panel. The floor beneath them shifted. The walls opened, revealing a hidden path to an underground chamber. "Go," she said urgently, pushing Liam toward the path. "You're the only one who can stop them now." Before Liam could respond, one of the soldiers raised his weapon. Elara threw herself in front of Liam. "No," she shouted. "I won't let them control you." A shot rang out. Elara crumpled to the ground. Liam's heart stopped. He kneeled beside her, shaking. No. Why?" Elara smiled faintly, her eyes fading. "I'm sorry, Liam. I never wanted this. But I had no choice. You're the key to saving humanity. The true key." She coughed weakly. "Find the final core. The one on Luna 5. It holds the answer." With those last words, Elara's eyes closed. She was gone. Liam stood up, feeling the weight of her sacrifice. The soldiers didn't move. They were waiting for him to make the next move. "Where's the core?" one of the soldiers asked coldly. Liam's mind raced. He didn't know if he could trust anyone now. Elara's betrayal stung. But he couldn't let her death be in vain. He raised his head, his eyes hard with determination. "I'm not going to let you control me," he said, his voice steady. With a swift motion, he grabbed Elara's weapon from her side and shot at the ceiling. The walls began to collapse as alarms blared. Liam ran, ducking into the underground tunnel. He didn't look back. The escape Liam's heart pounded as he ran through the narrow corridors. He could hear the soldiers behind him, chasing him down, but he didn't care. His mind was focused on one thing, Luna 5. He didn't know what was waiting for him there, but Elara had told him it was important, and now it was his only hope. The base shook again. He could feel the Zernak closing in, and the human soldiers hunting him down. The pressure was building. Liam needed to escape. At the last moment, he reached the hangar. The doors slid open. The small ship Elara had shown him earlier sat in the center, waiting. Liam rushed inside, powering up the ship. The hangar doors opened just as the first wave of soldiers entered. He blasted off into the sky, leaving the base behind. As the ship shot through space, Liam looked out at the stars. He was alone now. But there was one thing he knew for sure. The final core awaited him, and nothing would stop him from finding it. Liam's ship raced through the darkness of space, leaving the crumbling base of Ilion 3 behind. His hands were shaking on the controls, but his mind was clear. He had to reach Luna 5. It was the only place left where the final core lay hidden. Ilara's last words haunted him. She had said the core there held the answers. But answers to what? And why had the military betrayed her? There were still too many questions, and the truth was buried deeper than he could have imagined. His ship's system pinged. The coordinates for Luna 5 blinked on the screen, and he set the course. The journey would take hours, maybe days, but Liam couldn't afford to rest. Not now. Luna 5, the hidden world. Luna 5 was a moon, a small rock orbiting a gas giant. From a distance, it looked like any other barren world, cold and uninhabited. But as Liam's ship entered the atmosphere, something unusual appeared. Large, dark structures, ancient walls, hidden tunnels beneath the surface. The ship landed on a rocky plateau. As the engines powered down, Liam couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. The air felt heavy, thick with secrets. He exited the ship, his boots crunching on the icy surface. VORX's voice came through his comms. Proceed with caution. Energy levels of the core are unstable. Liam looked around, but there was no sign of life. Only the silent structures, towering over him like ancient sentinels. The core's chamber. Liam moved toward a large structure ahead. The entrance was hidden beneath layers of rock, but he knew where to look. Ilara had left him the map before she died. The entrance opened with a hiss, revealing a long hallway. It was dark, but the walls shimmered with faint energy, guiding him deeper into the heart of Luna 5. As he walked, the ground trembled beneath his feet. A distant hum filled the air. The core was close. Finally, he reached the chamber. Inside, the core pulsed with power, floating in the center of a circular room. The room was lined with strange symbols, the same ones he had seen on the dome at Zera 9. The symbols were warnings or maybe instructions. He couldn't tell. Core detected. Activating. VORX's voice echoed in his ears like a whisper in the wind. Liam approached the core, feeling its heat radiate. He could feel its power, its promise of untold potential. His hand hovered above it. Then suddenly the ground shook harder. The walls began to glow red. Liam stepped back, his heart racing. Warning! Zernak fleet detected in orbit. A new voice boomed from behind him. You should have stayed away, human. Liam spun around. A group of Zernak soldiers had entered the chamber. They were tall, armored, and fierce, but these weren't just any Zernak. These were the elite, the ones who had destroyed human colonies long ago. And they were here for the core. The core belongs to us, the leader of the Zernak hissed. You are nothing but a pest, trying to play in forces beyond your control. Liam didn't have time to hesitate. He drew his weapon and fired. But the Zernak soldiers were quick. Their shields absorbed the shots with ease. The leader raised his hand, and the floor beneath them began to shift. The chamber split open, revealing a hidden portal beneath the core. The Zernak leader stepped forward, eyes glowing with dark energy. This is the true weapon, the Zernak leader said. The portal will take us to the heart of your world. We will destroy Earth once and for all. Liam's heart raced. The Zernak were planning to use the core as a gateway to invade Earth. The portal would let them travel directly to the planet, bypassing everything. Not if I can stop it, Liam muttered, his eyes locked on the portal. The portal wore without warning, the rune shook violently. The Zernak leader pushed a button on his wrist, and the portal began to glow brighter. Dark energy swirled around it, and the first Zernak soldiers stepped through, disappearing into the storm. Liam ran forward, dodging blasts from the soldiers' weapons. He dove toward the core and activated the command key Elara had given him. Core defense activated, portal destabilizing. The walls began to rumble, and the Zernak leader turned in fury. "You fool! You cannot stop us." Liam's heart pounded as the rune shook again. The portal was closing, but not fast enough. The Zernak were trying to force their way through. Then, with a final, desperate move, Liam lunged at the portal's core, pressing the button that would reverse its energy flow. The room lit up with blinding light. "No!" the Zernak leader screamed. The ground cracked, and the portal began to collapse. A blast of energy sent Liam flying back against the wall. For a moment, everything went silent. The aftermath. Liam struggled to stand. The room was now quiet. The Zernak soldiers were gone. The portal was destroyed. The core was still intact, but it was no longer glowing. The power it held had been drained. Liam walked slowly toward the shattered portal. His body ached and his head spun, but the victory was clear. The Zernak would not reach Earth today. VORAX, Liam whispered. System rebooting. Portal war averted. The core is now secure. Awaiting further instructions. Liam took a deep breath. The fight wasn't over. There were still more pieces to find, more secrets hidden in the stars. But for now, Earth was safe. As he turned to leave, he knew the journey was far from over. The galaxy was full of mysteries, and he was the one chosen to uncover them. But one thing was certain, he wouldn't face it alone. Liam stood in the shattered ruins of Luna 5. The core's energy drained and the Zernak fleet repelled. But even in victory, a feeling of dread settled deep within him. There were no celebrations, no sense of relief. Only the understanding that the true battle was yet to come. As the last echoes of the portal's collapse faded into space, the faint hum of a new signal reached Liam's comms. "Liam, are you there?" It was VORAX, calm and calculating as always. But this time, something was different in its tone. Something urgent. "The final piece is within reach. The last core. It is not where you think it is." Liam's brow furrowed. "What do you mean? Where is it?" VORAX hesitated for a fraction of a second before responding. "It is on Earth." The Earth revelation. Liam stood frozen for a moment, the weight of those words sinking in. The last core was on Earth? He had thought that humanity's home planet had been left behind, forgotten, after the Zernak's betrayal and the fall of the human empire. But now, it seemed Earth held the final piece of the puzzle, the key to everything. Before he could ask more, VORAX continued. "The core is hidden beneath a place known as the Vault. The Vault is a defense system created by humanity's ancestors. It was designed to protect the last of the human legacy from anyone who would misuse it. You must find it before the Zernak return to finish what they started." Liam nodded, already feeling the weight of the responsibility. "How do I get there?" "You will need a ship. There is no time to waste." Liam turned, running back to the ship. The Zernak might be gone for now, but they would come again. The war was not over. The return to Earth. The journey back to Earth was long, but this time Liam didn't feel the usual unease of being in deep space. Now it was personal. Earth was his home, the last place he had left to protect. The ship entered Earth's atmosphere, cutting through the clouds like a spear. Below, he could see the familiar blue oceans and green lands. His heart skipped a beat. He was home. But there was no time for nostalgia. He had a mission, and it had never been more urgent. VORAX guided him to a remote location, a hidden place far beneath the surface, guarded by ancient technology. It was a place that few had ever entered. The Vault. The Vault. The entrance was an ancient, overgrown structure deep within a forgotten mountain range. Time had hidden it, but not for long. The vault was still intact, and it was more than just a place. It was a fortress, a final defense. Liam stepped inside, his boots echoing in the silence of the massive halls. The walls were lined with strange symbols, The same ones he had seen before on Zera 9 and Luna 5. They weren't just warnings. They were instructions. But what they instructed, Liam couldn't quite understand. At the heart of the vault, Liam found the core. It was large and glowing with a strange, pulsing light, but this core was different. It was not like the others. This one was not just a weapon, it was a creation. A power source unlike anything he had seen before. "This is it," Liam whispered. Suddenly, a voice interrupted him. "You shouldn't have come, human." Liam spun around. Out of the shadows stepped the Zernak leader, his eyes burning with rage. He had followed Liam all the way from Luna 5. And now, with the final core in his sights, he would stop at nothing to take it. "The core belongs to us," the Zernak leader growled, raising his weapon. Liam's mind raced. He couldn't fight the Zernak leader alone. But there was one thing he could do. He ran toward the core, reaching for the ancient controls. The walls began to hum louder as energy surged through the vault. The core activated, its light blinding. "No!" The Zernak leader roared, but it was too late. The vault systems were ancient, and they were in motion. "You won't control this power," Liam shouted, his fingers flying over the control panel. The final battle. Energy surged around Liam. The ground trembled. The Zernak leader lunged, but the moment he crossed the threshold, the vault's defenses activated. The ground cracked open beneath his feet. Energy blasts fired from all directions. Liam had unlocked the core's true power, the ability to manipulate the very fabric of reality. The Zernak leader was thrown back by the force of the blast, but he wasn't done yet. He rose, his armor glowing with dark energy. Liam had to think fast. The vault was alive, its ancient technology responding to his commands. He had to use it to his advantage. With a final, desperate effort, Liam called on the core's power, forcing the vault to collapse the entire chamber around the Zernak leader. The ground beneath him caved in, and the Zernak leader vanished into the depths below, his screams echoing in the walls. The aftermath. Liam stood alone in the now silent vault, his heart racing. The final battle had been fought. Earth was safe. The Zernak threat was over. The core hummed softly in front of him, its power now under his control. But as he looked at it, he knew it wasn't the end. It was only the beginning. There was much more to uncover, more to learn about the past of humanity and the galaxies beyond. The universe was vast, and humanity had only begun to reach its full potential.